Nah,
The randomness is random.
oh, hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Come one, come all.
Come.
That's what she said.
What?
She did actually say
What?
that.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Oh.
Look who we have back.
Yes.
We have Justin
Hey.
back. You know, he's just so popular. He's like
That's true.
traveling around, being a little jet setter.
I was working WonderCon to death.
He
It
was.
was, yeah, not in a fun way. I want to point that out.
Working it, went to South by
How
Southwest.
do you work it to death in a fun way?
Interviewing people? I don't know. Like,
So what were you doing that was
I was
not
working.
fun?
I was working at my day job's booth.
Oh,
So yeah,
ew.
yeah.
Gross.
Anywho, but I'm here now. So here talking about movies and shit. So
Yes,
let's get going.
let's get to it. We
Right.
have some news
Yeah,
tonight.
because there was CinemaCon.
There was.
And many,
God, bucket
many
list, Drew.
clips and trailers and behind-the-scenes footage were released, not to the public, but we heard about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Diving right into that
Yes.
then. What specifically from the CinemaCon thing that either you two wished you like? Dang it! I wish I saw that.
Freaking like the entirety of the WB presentation. We got Godzilla footage, we had Joker footage, we had
Yep.
It 2 footage, we
Yeah.
had Birds
I'm
of
so
Prey footage.
excited for it too.
Yes.
Yes, that is one that I cannot wait for.
Oh my gosh.
And from what I've
Jelly.
heard, it sounds like it's super scary.
Yep.
I'm interested to see what the adults, like how the adult story is going to play out in the film version, just because I'm really attached to the kids too.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like,
I'm not that in touch. Sick. I hate child actors. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Well, that first movie was entirely child actors.
They've gotten better with time, for sure.
Right.
For sure. But yeah, so we got a lot of that. Disney brought something, didn't they?
I'm assuming more. Did they bring Lion King footage?
oh, I didn't hear anything about that.
I didn't hear
I just
anything.
skipped right by that.
And the real first sign.
Really? Now I want to know what they said about that.
Jeez.
Because you'd think, I mean, I guess it must have not been too bad, or else
Yeah,
it would have been
yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah.
True.
But if it was really good, it would have been everywhere too.
Yeah, that too. Oh, they also did talk about Terminator, and this is the one where I don't know what's gonna happen with this one.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to
This
see
is gonna
footage.
be badass, okay? That's all I gotta say.
The talks after the screenings of the footage, a lot of people seem to be pretty hyped about it.
Okay.
A lot of
That's
people.
good.
And mostly people who are just really happy to see Linda back.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's the main
Yeah.
reason. Like, I thought, personally, I thought the Terminator franchise is done. I kind of got burned out, and then they announced like, oh, we're
Burned
bringing.
out.
Yeah, I hated the last two.
Right,
So I'm
right.
like-
But with her back, it's like it brings new or old life
Well,
into it.
they were like, we're bringing Linda Hamilton back. Like, that's literally the last thing that make me come back.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
They
And
got you. They
They
got
got
you.
me.
One more
They
time.
got me.
One more
time.
time.
You got me one more time.
Well, we also learned that Harley Quinn is not part of the Birds of Prey.
Right.
That
That she's gonna be like a bit of an antagonist, right?
In that movie.
Yeah, in the movie.
Really?
So, which is good because
Yes.
it wouldn't make sense for her to be Bird of Prey. She's
Mm-hmm.
not a bird. Like,
a bird or a plane. Also, they aired the first 10 minutes of X-Men Dark Phoenix. They showed the first 10 minutes, which
And-
was the space shuttle.
I guess that suggests
Rescue.
that they have some confidence in it.
no.
Some?
They showed the best part of that movie so that they
part.
could get good buzz on Twitter.
It's also like the first real sign of the merger fully existing because that
Right.
was part of the Disney presentation, and that was really weird for me
Yeah.
to read. Disney presents Dark Phoenix, and I'm like, right, this is here, this is
Yeah.
it. This,
And didn't they also put that New Mutants is gonna be
Yes.
get a theatrical release, which
Yeah.
is so crazy to me.
yeah,
Yeah, that's probably another piece of big news because we all thought it was going to go to Hulu or never come out, but it is still on the slate for this year.
Yeah.
For
What-
Like
August.
for maybe its August release.
yeah. Whatever shape or form that movie ends up being, I have.
We don't have an updated
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
had shows since 2017, right?
They were
Yep.
supposed to do reshoots, so
Yeah.
is that going to happen still? Or
Right.
just going to release as is and take whatever loss that may occur?
Yeah,
I mean, because
They
it'll
can
be
afford
even
it.
if they don't air it, it would still be a loss, right?
right.
Because
They spent money already on
But
it.
it'd be
Yeah.
a bigger loss, I think.
Yeah.
because they have to pay to distribute it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like even last week, Maisie Williams was saying like she doesn't know when the movie's gonna come out.
Right.
So
No, exactly.
or if it's gonna happen at all.
And
so.
Josh Boone being so busy with like the Stand miniseries he's going to do for CBS All Access, and it's like everyone's kind of waiting on him to go back to doing the reshoots, and he's not Like,
Right.
I'm busy doing an actual Stephen King thing. So, I don't...
Hi, Sundarine.
Hi!
Hi.
So-
But, yeah, so reviews for that were pretty lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's time to reboot the X-Men.
Yeah.
Then Alexandra Shipp's getting a lot of backlash because she said it's time for a Storm film, and she doesn't want to see Storm with Black Panther because she should have her own standalone film. She's been around longer, and what she meant was like in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people went apeshit because they were like, "Oh, Black Panther was created like 7 years
That
before
might be the
Storm."
first thing Alexandra Shipp has said that I agree with.
Yeah,
So-
her sound bites for this role haven't been great
Yeah.
for the most part.
But yeah, like, I think that Storm could stand on her own if they got the right actress for it, if they got the right, the writers. Because the problem with the X-Men, the most recent X-Men films, has just been, like, the execution, I think.
I'd
Right.
like to see, and I know we're trying to, like, be inclusive and get more female directors, but I'd like to see Ryan Coogler do a Storm film.
Oh,
I think
sure.
it'd be great, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Because he definitely appreciates women. He writes them very well.
Yep.
Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and he's just a great director.
Yeah. No, I would love to see that, for sure. Especially there's, like, so much to the character's backstory
Yeah.
that, like, you can make that into a whole film.
And then he could tie the
Eventually
origins
tie them
in
together.
with Wakanda, so he's
Yeah.
perfect. I mean, you got the Russo brothers directing multiple films. Joss Whedon directed, a few films and had his hand in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Why not get Ryan another?
Hello, new chat members.
Yeah, there's people in the room.
The Bat Subler, it's back. Rat Stratosphere. Am I the only one that is exhausted of X-Men films?
I mean, that's
You
fair.
are not.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be wise of them to take a little bit of a break, and I'm sure they will, just
Yeah.
by virtue of the fact that they just got it back.
Right.
So they've got to work it back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see X-Men films all the time. Like, look at Deadpool. We got a little bit of X-Men there. It's just the people are not doing it right. It's almost,
Exactly.
it's like the DC sickness that we have here, the illness where they just can't get this property right, and it's the easiest.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the easiest properties to adapt to the big screen. It's all right there for you. The rich history. The metaphors, which still relate to today.
Yeah,
They're still
absolutely.
relevant today.
It's
Absolutely.
a great allegory.
Yes, and it's just a hot mess. They're focusing on the wrong characters. They can't write for the characters. They can't write for the caliber of actors they have. It's just sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad all around.
So we're wrapping that universe. So we're not going to be doing that talk anymore with them. So I think this is like they've actually called Dark Phoenix like the last
Right.
swan.
They're like, it's, exactly.
Yeah.
And then they said, like, oh, it's going to be a fitting conclusion or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Which is their way of going, no, we really are rebooting this.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And I think they need to.
Yeah.
No one, I don't know that anyone's really clamoring for, like, more of this same part,
No, I think everyone's kind of tired of it
Yeah,
now
exactly.
as well. Like
No.
by like Apocalypse went, hey, I think we're good.
Right.
You think if there's anyone they're going to move over to the MCU, who would that be from the current cast? Could be the younger cast, the older first class.
I always felt like Alan Cummings was a really good Nightcrawler.
No, not the old Bryan Singer. I meant
Okay.
like Matthew Vaughn's cast.
Oh, you're talking about
and then the
okay.
Sophie Turner and
No one.
you didn't bring anyone.
Clean slate.
Clean slate, exactly.
Clean slate,
Clean
completely.
slate.
Yeah.
I'd bring over.
Somebody you have in mind? Yeah.
Even though I want to do older X-Men so bad, like my fan casting, like I want that, but I would definitely bring over like Fassbender. I would bring over McAvoy.
I mean, they're great. Like,
Yeah.
they did a great job. It's just
yeah.
the ties to the older movies, I think.
I
be-
would like to see Nick Holt play someone else in the MCU, so I wouldn't bring him over. Maybe Sophie Turner. Maybe.
As Jean Grey, though?
If they were going to stick to younger. She wasn't that bad.
No, it's not that she was bad. I just wish they'd let her use her own accent. Like, does Jean have to speak in the fake American accent?
Yeah, which she can't
Exactly.
do.
She's not good at it. Let her talk normally.
And I don't like to say that the female actors can't portray these characters because they are never written as full people. They are always written as terrible.
Right.
As terrible as possible.
It starts with the writers. We need new writers for X-Men.
Yeah,
Like, you could have that whole almost the whole same cast, not all of it.
Right.
But you could have almost the whole same cast with different writers. And
If you gave me a good writer and then they sucked at the acting part of it, then I'd be like, do away with it. But that's not the case here.
Yeah.
Also, put them in the real costumes. Just saying. It's like put them in the real costumes for now. Like I am now ready for Wolverine and AL spandex. The joke's now 20 years old. I'm ready to move on from that.
Does anyone know the answer to Batista's question? What's Army of the Dead? Because Dave Bautista is going to be in it.
It is the Zack Snyder zombie heist action movie.
All right.
That's on Netflix. That'll be on Netflix.
Oh, on Netflix.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe that's probably.
Zack Snyder fan.
I that's a better. Like I'd rather Snyder do movies like that.
Yeah.
I think
true. That's his area.
That is the perfect thing. I'll watch the heck out of that when it shows up on Netflix for sure. Okay, so next up, we're actually now going to talk about the Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky casting,
Which was announced in the middle of WonderCon last week. Not really for CinemaCon, which was weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
But I think it's great.
It's a good call.
Mark Hamill is such an amazing voice actor.
Oh, yeah.
He's like he can make any character iconic. So, and Chucky's already iconic. So.
Huh?
Yeah.
We do have a video.
Okay.
Wait 1 second on that.
It's gonna be an adjustment for me because I'm a big fan of Brad Dourif.
This Child's Play. How do you feel about this Child's Play? Because the current. Because what's his face? Stop.
Alexa.
Anyway, sorry. Who was the original creator?
Don Mancini.
Don Mancini's Child's Play still exists. It's still active. He's still creating stuff for it. There's going to be a TV show for that world. And, you know, the straight-to VODs have been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But how do you feel that now there's a whole other Child's Play without the blessing of the creator?
It's a bummer, honestly, because like Don Mancini has been involved with every single Child's Play movie or Chucky movie.
Yeah.
And it does kind of like feel a little weird that they're going ahead because of money.
Right.
They can go ahead and do a remake and not pay Don to be
Yeah,
involved.
that sucks.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the original production company that did Child's Play, even though Child's Play moved on to a different production company, because that first movie was made with, I think it was New Line Cinema or
MGM, I think.
Or MGM, because the original film was made with them, they can do whatever they want. So they can do this without his permission, even though he created Chucky, Child's Play, the whole franchise. Because they distributed the first movie, created the first movie as a production company.
Right.
They're like, all right, well,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's like the kind of like the underhanded side of the business.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and you know, Brad Dourif does a great Chucky.
Love Brad Dourif.
He does a great Chucky. He's still doing it. And I just don't like the whole it's not gonna be supernatural, no Charles Lee Ray. That just goes hand in hand. Like this glitchy robot nonsense. That's a whole different movie. That's not Child's Play.
You know what this weirdly reminds me of? The one year we had 2 Bond movies, and it was like, so you had the main Bond movie series with still Roger Moore, and then you had, because they had the rights to some Bond elements, you had the other Bond movie called Never Say Never Again.
Oh.
And that's the return of Sean Connery in the role.
Okay.
And both these Bond movies came out the same year. So it's kind of that weird case of, well, we have the rights to this, so we'll make our movie. Well, we can still do this, so we'll make our movie.
Yeah.
Because that's how Hollywood works. You know?
Which
I
is
mean,
dumb because you should not piss off the horror community. Like
Oh,
they will come back for you.
The only thing I'd say is like maybe it'll introduce people who like aren't like aware of the ongoing universe of
Sure.
Chucky.
Well, that's why
To,
they
like,
put Aubrey
then-
Plaza in there,
Right.
and
And
now they
then
got Mark Hamill.
They can go check it out,
Right.
and it will eventually be a good kickback for the other Chucky movies.
Absolutely.
But it does feel like a slap in the face.
It does, but going back to kind of what you said, I think Mark clearly will do a great job with it. I mean, like, Joker alone is like an example, but he's already like an accomplished voice actor, and so when he announced on like Instagram and Twitter that like, hey, I'm doing this one, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like If it's gonna be anybody,
If someone else is gonna do it, Mark
it would be
Hamill
him.
is the one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have a video to show you interviews at WonderCon. Is that what this is?
Oh,
yes.
cool.
So some of our cast members got to interview the cast of Child's Play, or one of the cast members.
Ooh.
Obviously, at the panel, it was revealed Mark Hamill is going to be playing Chucky. How do you feel about that?
I feel very honored to be in a movie with Mark Hamill. I can now say I am in a movie with Mark Hamill.
Which is amazing.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's amazing.
So this take of Child's Play is going to go more towards the technological side. I guess thriller horror more so than the supernatural side, which was the original. How do you think that's going to speak to the modern audience?
I mean, that's the reason why I did the movie, because this kind of new version of Chucky is tied into what's happening right now with everyone, where our devices are alive and our devices learn things and know us really well and are watching us, and what would happen if Siri or Alexa starts trying to murder you. To me, that is a very scary thought. So I felt like kind of using that idea with the Chucky character was kind of brilliant. What was the question again?
No, just about how technology is kind of how this can influence like kind of a younger audience, because like you said, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I mean, I think that it's kind of like a foreshadowing kind of movie where you're like, this could actually happen. I mean, I feel like we're only years away from kids having, little dolls that have artificial intelligence. That's a scary thought to me. So I feel like it's kind of like, maybe just rely on human relationships more than relationships with machines.
Playing Chucky, what are your first reactions to that?
I was a fan of his performance as the Joker, so I was like totally geeking out when I heard, and all of my brothers are a fan of him as well, so I was totally geeking out.
So this version of Chucky is the original. He's more wisecracking and joking.
Right.
What is this version of Chucky that we've been seeing so far?
I don't think I can say all that much. He has a similar personality, but a similar personality to the original, not necessarily the continuations.
So this also version of Child's Play is going to go more towards the technology side of things instead of the supernatural. Why is that relevant now to you?
Well, there's so much technology that's so insane, and there's so much that we don't know about. Like Seth was saying, there's Alexa. Amazon owns so much, so it's a really timely piece.
And the teddy bear
because,
one.
We don't
The
really
mom
know
was stuck
what
in the
could
teddy
happen.
bear. I was like, oh, this fucked up.
This is definitely possible.
Wait, hey.
Okay, so Child's Play.
Audrey Plaza is weirdly hot.
We have confirmed
We've
confirmation.
confirmed this, yes.
And
I
agree.
do love her.
I will take. All right, we're not reading that. Anyway. Anyway, Child's Play will be released later this year.
Yeah.
We cannot confirm or deny that because we couldn't hear it.
Yes. Teddy Ruxpin, I had a Teddy Ruxpin, and then it was so awesome, and we read together at night, and I loved it, and it wasn't creepy.
That's great.
That's
an endorsement.
there we go. Teddy Ruxpin is
But it
not
would
Chucky.
randomly, just spit out a sentence.
Okay, no, hold on. No,
time to
you,
time.
you mildly lost me there. It would what?
It glitched a little bit, because if the batteries were dying, I don't know, sometimes it would, the voice modulator would, change. It would be, really weird.
Oh.
Okay.
But I watched horror movies since I was 7.
All right, so you're fine.
I was like, I will kill you.
So we have a kind of interesting topic now.
Okay.
What's this? Oh. Oh, you mean how you just whitewashed Daniel out of this seat?
Does that work?
Is it
Does-
whitewashing if you're doing it?
No, hold on. Does that work because I'm Filipino?
Exactly.
So, I just changed color.
You just light skin wash Daniel.
It's like color swapping.
Exactly. All we aren't the same.
But that also ties into colorization, which
Yeah.
is pretty much whitewashing within an ethnic group.
Like colorism?
Yeah, colorism. Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
what I meant. Colorism, yes. And speaking of Alexander Ship.
Yes.
Anyway,
Go ahead, Justin. Start us off, because this topic was bred out of the announcement of the Akira live action film.
Right.
And then after that was announced, they announced the cast of the Cowboy Bebop film.
The Akira live action film has been threatening to come into my existence
Right.
for what feels like 10 years. And I've never trusted Hollywood with the idea of doing this movie. And
It's not going to star Leonardo DiCaprio.
it's not going to star Leo. Leo we producing it. Supposedly it will be directed by Taika Waititi.
Yes.
And that's the only reason I have any mild form
Right.
of hope of this working out.
Yeah, I would hope that Taika knows better at this point.
Yeah, there was a version of the film that had apparently like
Wasn't it like Garrett Hedlund at one
Gary
point?
Hedlund
Like,
as
ugh.
Kaneda, and his character, and he was going to be called Kaneda.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Normal.
Kristen Stewart is in the cast.
Because whenever I think about Akira, that's what I think about. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, the nightmares.
So, and you know, Ken Watanabe, because hey, we threw a Japanese guy.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
get mad at us.
So
So,
hopefully that will not happen to us this time.
well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, Taika's even said on record that, well, if I was to do Akira, I would. It's going to have Asian.
Yeah, he said he
actors.
wouldn't be whitewashed. He was
would-
like, I would not whitewash Akira, and I would not remake the film. I would remake the comic series.
Which is what everyone says, but I'm hoping he'll stick to it.
Right.
Because I remember even Spike Lee said that about Old Boy. He's like, oh, I'm going to be basing it more off the manga. And then I watched the movie and went, Spike, this is the Korean film. What
Yeah,
you did the hammer scene, dude. What do you...
Yeah.
Anyways, you did the twist. That was from the... Whatever, listen,
But the twist makes the film.
I know. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing with Akira. Akira is, for me, one of those very culturally specific stories that I don't know how you can translate that to here.
Right, because that's one of the issues, that it's going to be filmed in California.
Yeah,
So I'm a
oh
little
boy.
bit like,
And it's so much about there's so much like literal like Japanese history and culture that it's just I don't know how you can translate that story to America to make it work here and beyond just simply people doing the aesthetics of Akira, which is hey the cool bikes, hey the people with mental abilities, hey Kaneda Tatsudo and then a globby monster is that's the lazy version of that
right,
movie.
right.
And I don't know. We'll see. Taika's very talented. So,
So hopefully he does his research,
Yep.
does the right casting at the very least. And then, I mean, maybe if you were going to do it, you could do about the experience of being Japanese-American.
that'd be
you
cool.
know?
See, that would
That
work
would be a
for me.
different take on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would agree.
And
Yeah.
what do you think about the Cowboy Bebop casting?
Yeah, this is one where I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Because Cowboy Bebop takes place in like space.
Yeah.
In like the future.
Yeah.
Like, it's not actually tied to being Japanese.
Right.
And in fact, many of the characters clearly are not.
Right.
In the anime itself. So I like that they've got a really diverse cast. They've still got, even though he's, John Cho's Korean, he's not
Yeah.
Japanese, but
Right,
we do
right.
have an Asian man in the lead,
Right.
which is something that we need much more of.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I like all the cast so far.
Yeah.
I don't know, what are your thoughts
Are
on
you
it?
kind of disappointed that Keanu Reeves is not Cowboy Bebop? Because like Cowboy Bebop kind of looks like Keanu Reeves, and I know they were toying with that, and I think even Keanu expressed interest in playing that.
I'm not like particularly disappointed, but now you said it, I'm like, oh, that's sad. But do I think that John Cho has a more emotional range than Keanu Reeves? Yes.
You haven't seen some of his dark shit he's been doing the last few years. But, I also think John Cho deserves this.
Yep.
You know, he's been
Yep.
getting sidelined and shafted for the last, 15 years?
Yep.
Right.
15, 20 years. So, yeah, this is a good move.
Yeah.
I completely agree about John Cho in that regard. But exactly what you said. I even tweeted that this past week, where it's like no, you've asked him if you want him to be goofy and silly. John Cho can do it.
Yeah.
You want him to be the straight man, he can do it.
Yeah.
You want him to be dramatic and like really like intense, he can do it.
You can do it all.
Searching
And-
is
and-
great.
Oh, right? No, exactly. And you want him to be cool and kind of like and mysterious, he can do it. And the thing is that like I was rewatching it's been a long time. I rewatched the first few episodes of Bebop.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say selfie.
No.
Anyway, moving on.
Side note, I love that show too. So I watched the first few episodes of Bebop again, and I'm like, Spike is all those things.
Yeah.
He can be goofy and silly. He can be cool. He can be dramatic. He could have all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, John Cho can do all that
Yeah.
on a flip of a coin. And like
Yes.
you said, he's earned it.
He has earned it.
He can be the cool, like, funny, charismatic action guy in a sci-fi show
Yeah.
because he's earned it. Jet's casting is on point too.
Yes, I was really, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great call, great energy. I love also the idea of Danielle Pineda as Faye.
Yes, I love her.
Perfect
Even though the
call.
thing I know her from is Vampire Diaries and Originals, but that's okay. I
Yeah.
still love her.
No.
She's better than that.
I think she's got the right energy,
Yeah.
and like Faye's like definitely like that weird, funny, like like kind of sexy character, and like she
Right.
can do that very easily. I'm curious who's gonna play Ed.
Yeah, that would be, you know what? That is going to be really interesting.
And especially because like Ed's kind of one of those first like kind of identified non-binary
Exactly.
characters.
It's a good opportunity for that kind of representation.
Yeah.
In casting
Absolutely.
a director.
People should tell me I should watch Cowboy.
You
Bebop.
should.
You should.
I'm like, I don't know what you guys are
Yeah,
talking about.
like I had always heard about it when I was a kid. Like all my friends watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I did not. Probably because it had the word cowboy in it. So I thought
Yeah,
it was
true.
kinda,
I'm
like,
not
weird.
a cowboy
I'm not watching
Western
some weird
fan.
Western jazz
I
show.
was like, no. But then I recently, because we heard that there was going to be a live action, my friends were like, okay, we're gonna do a marathon Cowboy Bebop, and Tatiana's gonna watch it this time.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
did, and it was like, this is excellent. And
Yeah.
now I've got a cast that is also excellent. So yay for me.
It's a show that's so much like Akira. The show is so influential and so cool that like it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, it's wild. The show came out in '98, so it's been that long.
Yeah, I know. It's like 20 years.
Yeah, it's like 20. Yeah, that's 20 years. And I'm wondering what they could add to what made that show influential, and can they even match to anything that show did? I know Netflix has got the money. I know they can throw as much as they want at them to make the show look cool and have the production value it needs. But like I'm just wondering if they can pull it off. And that's the cast is great. That's the one thing that's already getting my hopes.
And Toku Kid,
settled.
I am sure they will have the corgi in the adaptation.
That's non-negotiable.
Yeah,
The corgi.
exactly. The corgi is gonna come.
Riots will be had.
Exactly.
Riots will be had if the corgi's not in this show.
Pam Daniel says, I don't really plan on seeing any of these. Don't be surprised or shocked if more people don't either. That is something cold.
That is cold. But if Netflix promotes it, you know, they will come. People will come and watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe Akira, maybe no one will watch it.
I don't know, because you can't just say it's on Netflix. People are gonna watch it because Netflix has been known to be really shitty at marketing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they market it, people will watch. If they don't, if they just leave it to die, then I won't even know it's on until someone tweets about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is true. Yeah, because unless you're on Twitter, I mean, I don't see Netflix marketing their stuff anywhere else unless I'm watching Netflix. But not even. So, like, where else do they really market their shows? TV? Okay.
Yeah, they do. They do have it on TV. They do have it on TV, yeah.
All right,
But
never
that's the thing,
mind.
the things they care about are what they put on TV.
Yeah.
But this will be a Netflix production, right?
Yeah.
It's not, so they'll probably market it. They'll probably.
Absolutely. You know, and that's the thing is like if it's a Netflix production, and now this is a huge property, they're gonna push the heck out of this thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, remember that there is supposed to be an Avatar: The Last Airbender live action.
And
Johnny Parker asked about that.
we will still
Yeah.
see how that
Still
works
burn
out.
from the last one.
Especially learning that
nice.
So, yeah.
especially
Can't
learning
trust our own people.
no, especially learning that they were supposed to do a season 4, but they put it aside to make the movie.
Not again. I mean, what do you guys feel like about them doing like live action adaptations of animes? Is the world just too big? Because as we see with a lot of these anime shows, what they have 100-episode seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know when I watched last Dragon Ball, I mean, really, the whole episode was like one dude flying in the air for 20 minutes. So does that really count? Maybe not. Yeah.
I used to watch Dragon Ball Z before Sailor Moon. And every episode, it would literally be like getting ready to fight. It'd be like, next week we will fight. And I was like, what? Did I just watch?
It'd be 9 episodes of people.
Exactly. Like
be-
a power up.
9 episodes of people powering up, and then 20 episodes of people punching.
And I never understood it.
Same fight.
So confused.
The same fight.
Meanwhile, Sailor Moon would go through like 5
Yeah.
different plots.
It's like,
Like, anyway.
And she defeated like 8 monsters in like 4 episodes.
Exactly.
Be like, no, that's,
See,
clearly.
women get things done. That's the moral of the story.
Do you guys have like an example of like a case of whitewashing that you were most offended by, or do you think this is a trend that's going to continue, maybe unconsciously in the industry?
Offended. Honestly, it really is the M. Night Airbender movie, and like it was that weird case where it's like there's always this one shot that always bothered me. It was Sokka, and you saw the rest of his people behind him, and it's full of Inuit people and hella white Jack Rathbone in the middle of the frame, and I'm like, there's like something really wrong here, and like if like you couldn't figure out how to mix the cultures of the people in this, like you would have been fine, but you've made that call, M. Night, and you turned the villains of the story all people that like look like if you're. What happened
like,
here?
What is this self-hate? What is going on here? Yeah.
Prince of Persia.
Was really offensive. Yes. One for me that isn't like animated to live action, but just whitewashing was. I don't know if you guys remember Drive. It's Carey Mulligan was
Ryan
Gosling.
Yeah.
Okay, so originally the character of Carey Mulligan was Latina.
I remember that.
And the director literally said that he cast Carey Mulligan instead because he wanted her to be someone soft that
Not Michelle Rodriguez.
You know, like he was like he has to be like I keep on calling him Carey Headland, but Ryan Gosling has to want to protect her. So like the idea that a Latina actress would not be someone that he would want to protect or that he would feel inclined to protect, but Oscar Isaac could still play her criminal husband. You know,
Optics
so
are bad there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
You know,
Thank you.
You know, I noticed Batusi brought up another good. You know what? This is actually a really bad one. It's Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yes!
That one does hurt bad.
No!
You know
It
what?
does get worse.
That
That's
is
when
really
people,
bad.
Like mention things and then it gets worse.
Yep.
Actually, yeah, touche. That was awful.
Who was that? That was what's his face?
Justin.
Yes.
Something.
Justin something.
Not me.
Not
Because
you,
that
not
I
you,
would have made
Steve.
more sense
You would have
than
made
him.
more sense. You would have made more sense.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I can't
That's
remember his
what
name.
it
It
is.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
But it sucked. Also, there was
Johnny Rico.
Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers was supposed to be Filipino, and instead we got Casper Van Dien. Because
It's really sad. It's really sad.
That's
And of course, you can't forget Scarlett Johansson and Ghost in the Shell.
that's still pretty. You know what?
Never forget.
A lot.
Never forget.
Actually, and that's a recent burn.
Yeah, that is.
The Last Samurai.
What Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Where Tom Cruise is the last samurai. That depending on the poster you look at, Tom Cruise's name is bigger than the title, so it looks like the movie's title is
Tom
Cruise,
Cruise,
the Last Samurai.
It's reversed in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Last Samurai,
referred
Tom
that-
Cruise?
In Japan, the picture was
Ken Watanabe.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Morris.
Zach Morris.
Thank you for that. See, that actually comfort to know that Japan also thinks Ken Watanabe is the only actor in Japan.
And it is kind of whitewashing how they
Yeah.
whitewashed Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That is.
Oh,
that is.
God.
Yeah, because I never even knew that. And then he would always talk about how he had to bleach his hair and
You know, Lou Diamond.
Even KJ Apa in Riverdale.
because he's
Wait.
Samoan.
Yeah, because he's Samoan.
He is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You know,
Wow.
Lou Diamond Phillips didn't say he was half Filipino for a long time. He's like, oh no, because I was in oh shoot, what's the movie? Thank you. He was in La
Oh,
Bamba,
Mexican.
and then like Young Guns. So he's like, oh, like I'm Latino and Native American. Like, dude, you're half Filipino.
Also, anything
Bennett.
Theo Rossi plays.
Chloe
Anytime
Bennett?
that Theo Rossi is
Chloe
in something.
Bennett's like half Japanese,
Chinese. She's
Chinese,
Chinese,
but
yeah.
she never told anyone, and she like Americanized her name.
She went by Wang for a long time. And then
She couldn't get roles as Wang.
Yeah,
exactly.
So then she flipped it.
to Bennett. And now here she is.
Now here she
Well,
is.
you mentioned someone else too. What was that?
Oh, Theo Rossi. Anything Theo Rossi does is whitewashing.
Oh, okay.
Because he takes all the Latino roles and also all the Afro-Latino roles.
Wait.
And he has zero amounts of
Really?
either.
What is he,
He's
Italian?
Italian. He's 100% Italian.
You bastard!
Exactly. I trusted you. No, I didn't. The first time I saw him in South America, I was like, what is this white man doing? But
Really?
Yes.
Oh, he didn't come off as like Italian to me, but Rossi, yeah.
Tone is Italian, not Greek.
How dare he?
Well, the tone is a little more obvious.
European side washing.
Oh, yeah, Doctor
Oh,
Strange,
yes.
Tilda,
Tilda
Swinton.
Swinton.
Yeah, because they didn't want to be. What was it? They didn't
Dragon
wanna
Lady,
be, Dragon
which
Lady.
I'm like,
I feel like we're just talking about all the Asian roles.
But here's the
Is
thing.
that just
It's
But-
because they do
but
it a
that's
lot.
how much,
They do it a
because it's
lot.
way
Oh
more.
my
But here's the
It's
thing.
way more.
Dragon Lady role is like, sure, fine. You don't want to make a Dragon Lady role, then
Don't.
put it in Ireland.
Yeah.
Make us go to Gaelic magic then. You know, don't be like, oh,
And-
me randomly
And I-
learning all the Asian arts.
And here's the thing, and that's the thing.
Mandarin.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing when I
Argo.
realized, like,
Yeah.
with the back then, Marvel didn't have like an Asian producer.
Mm-hmm.
They do now, but they didn't have an Asian American producer. And I'm like, you know, just ask. It's all,
Yeah.
that's my thing. Is
Just
like,
ask somebody.
just ask. Just ask. Hey, is this offensive?
Let's not say just ask.
You know?
Sorry, inside joke.
Yeah, this so.
John
Oh, you know,
Argo
John
was
Jeffett's
really
top.
bad.
We can go on. That's
Yeah,
a good one,
that's
might
a
I
really-
add.
yeah.
Argo's. Oh, we should have had a contest for
This
this.
should
You
have
guys
been
are
a-
really like
you guys
dumb
are-
because I forgot about a lot
Yeah,
of
because
these.
Ben Affleck, and that was a real guy. So.
You know what? The Martian.
Oh God, yes, Tiger Lily
Rooney
from the
Mara.
new. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say Pocahontas,
Yeah.
but
Like no, like
just saying.
the Martian. What you remember was like it was like the one and NASA.
The name was the last name was Park.
Last time was Park,
Yeah.
but then they cast Mackenzie Davis, though she should have been like Korean.
Yeah.
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 It just keeps going on and on. You know?
It keeps going on, and hopefully, you know, we're seeing a change, especially with Crazy Rich Asians, even though it shouldn't have taken that long.
It
Right.
shouldn't have been 25 years since the last major studio.
Yeah.
But like, here's a good example. This is like it's the Paul Feig Christmas movie, right?
Yeah, and didn't Emma
Ooh.
Thompson write it?
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this one.
This one I'm looking forward to. I love
Yes.
Henry Golding.
Yes.
Um,
Amelia Clark can't act.
No, she
but-
can't. But she's very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I expect her to look very cute while Henry Golding acts in front of her.
Right.
So
Henry Golding's my Superman casting choice if they want to
Ooh,
go
I
for
like
an
it.
Asian.
Don't do
I
that to
like
him.
it.
I think
You
he'd
just
be.
don't do that to him.
Nah, he'll pull it off. Like I'm still like, you look like a Superman.
He is a very, very cute.
He should be James Bond.
I would love
or
that
in
too.
a Mission Impossible film. Or the new Jason Bourne.
I would love him as Bond. He would be a good Bond.
He'd be a great Bond.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Daniel Craig, I love you, but for
time to
Henry,
go.
you can move
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
Daniel, it's time to go.
Time to go.
Oh
Gosh,
my god.
yes. Yeah, so just a lot of whitewashing and colorism.
Yeah, colorism for
which
sure.
is big in especially like the African American
Yes.
community.
And hopefully something that Black Panther is also like a step in.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Show that beautiful dark skin. Lupita. Lupita's
And I
got
do
me.
think,
Winston Duke.
Winston
I
Duke.
do think that we're moving a little bit away from it just because not as like people aren't letting them get away with it
Right.
as often, you know?
Yeah.
So
No.
We won't let you get away with it.
exactly.
No,
we'll
we'll-
hunt you
Even though
down.
people will be like, shut
We'll-
the fuck up, you have light skin. I'm like, okay.
It doesn't
leave
mean,
alone.
but you're not the one that's casting yourself in these
Oh,
movies. So.
that's right. This movie's already kind of like
a thing.
a thing too.
What is this?
What's the title of this one again?
The sun is a raisin. The sun is also no. The sun is a raisin.
Sun has.
Stop
Wait,
it.
is
The
that
sun's
the
also a star. Why am I combining the raisin and the sun with
I
the
know,
sun
I
is
was like,
also
what's
a
that?
star?
I read in
This is
elementary
a book.
school.
This is a
yeah.
play that you know. But yeah, so that's an interesting. You know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
No.
Hopefully it's good.
I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
what that is. You guys didn't explain what that is.
It's just
It's a teenage love story. It's
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
just you know he bets her that they'll fall in love in like a week or something, and she's like, "Love isn't real." But
Then
then
they
of course
clearly
they
gonna fall in
realize
love.
exactly
Yeah,
that
yeah.
love is real. Is she getting deported?
That's the story. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
Okay, that's the story
Yeah,
right
yeah, her
there.
family's
Not how
gonna-
she took that shitty bet.
Yeah. There are also, also when you hear like there are multiple movies about Egypt with all white people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gods of Egypt, for example.
Oh my God!
Who's
Gods
that?
of Egypt.
Christian Bale movie where he was Moses. What was
Yes.
that one?
Yep.
Exodus.
Exodus.
And-
Right.
Problem
Yeah.
is that his co-star wasn't even Egyptian either.
No.
Right.
What's his name? I know that guy.
Or no, that wrestling movie with Tom Hardy. Played his brother.
Joel Egerton.
Oh, that's right.
that was Joel Egerton. Oh my God!
Tragic.
Oh, brown facing. Oh my God! They brown faced the fuck out of him. Well, guys, we're in 2019, so hopefully we're getting there. Slowly
Hopefully
but
we've
surely.
moved on.
Just fingers crossed.
Anthony has asked me a question. If they do redo Jason Bourne, what Hispanic actor should play him?
Ideas?
Oscar Isaac.
I knew you were gonna say Oscar Isaac. The only one anyone knows.
Is he even Hispanic?
He is. He is.
No, the Spanish guy.
Spanish is not Hispanic. Pedro Pascal is Chilean, actually. He's not Spanish. So that works.
Also, Hispanic is very specific, too. I don't think Oscar Isaac is Hispanic.
Well, he is. He is, because he's Guatemalan.
Okay. That's a rough... I don't want to say Oscar Isaac's too easy.
It is
Who
too
else
easy.
is around?
So you don't want to say Pedro Pascal either?
It's either one of them, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Hey, Gabriel Garcia Bernal still exists.
That's
And
true.
So
That's
does,
true.
And so does
Benjamin
Gabriel Luna.
Bratt.
Gabriel Luna?
Yeah, Gabriel Luna, yeah, he exists.
Benjamin Bratt.
Benjamin Bratt.
Let's
Oh,
give
that's
him
right.
another one.
He's a
yeah.
sexy man.
He
Benjamin Bratt
is.
a
He's
sexy
gotten
man.
hotter as
Yeah.
the years have, aged him.
Jimmy Smits?
Jimmy Smits. Is he
Jimmy
a little bit-
Smith is like 60 years
He's
old.
a little on the older side.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he wants to do a
James
Liam
Bond looking back on
Neeson
his
thing.
life.
He could be M.
Since he's out of that
M,
game.
there you go.
He could be a good M.
Jimmy Smits is M.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Do you have your tickets for Endgame?
I do.
I don't.
I don't.
Because I'm going to a press screen, so I'm not even going to get it.
Ah, wow.
I mean, you can come with me. I still need a plus one.
I would love that.
I wasn't invited, clearly. So, I'll go on my
has a
own.
plus
It's
one.
fine.
Not really.
I'm definitely not invited now. It's fine. I'll just go alone. Not have to pay for ticket like a regular person.
He's going to a 3 a.m. showing.
Oh my
Literally,
God.
these screenings start at like 6 p.m., I think, and go to 3 a.m.
Lord.
It's
No, thank you.
and it's 3 hours.
It's a rare movie.
God.
That's right. They need a. You know what? They need an intermission. They need
Yeah.
an intermission.
I need to go to the bathroom.
You don't need an intermission for that movie. You can
I'm
watch it.
gonna need like the bucket of popcorn and my refill at the same time.
Oh.
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not getting up.
Exactly. You don't want to get up. You don't want to miss something.
I'm not gonna drink too much. Well,
Exactly. Catheters. Like, come on. Sell catheters at the entrance.
Freddie Prinze Jr. What happened to him? Can we bring him
He's just
back?
living his best life.
Can we bring Freddie Prinze because he's looking like a snack on Instagram too. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but Tusi forgot to ask what I think is going to happen to XS. I think I've said this several times, but I think
XS,
XS
the band?
is going to be rewritten because of all the changes she's made and be replaced by the Tornado Twins. Exactly.
Diego
Done,
Luna
done.
doesn't
Oh,
look
that'd
like
be,
Jason Bourne.
That'll be interesting.
Doesn't look like Jason Bourne. All right,
Still-
well,
still
it's
gonna be Jason Bourne
it's
Kennedy,
Justin's bedtime. You guys can see him.
Did you see me
yawning.
yawn a little bit?
It's bedtime. Bedtime for Justin.
So
God.
I think next week we are going to be preempting some footage for you guys, including on SNN, stuff from WonderCon, maybe some movie trailers. We'll figure out what YouTube's rules are this week. About
ton of interviews from movies.
airing stuff. Yeah, we have tons of interviews. But we will see you guys live the week after next. And we'll talk about more stuff. I don't think anything big is
Indie pop
releasing
culture.
between now and when we come back, right?
Yeah, I don't
On the
think so.
20th.
Like-
Shazam is out. Pet Cemetery
Yeah.
is out this weekend.
I thought Pet
that's
Sematary is
right.
good, so I
I
liked
thought
it a
Shazam
lot.
was really good.
I
so
like
there's
Shazam,
that. I
yeah.
really enjoyed it.
If you go with Shazam, Pet Cemetery, you
Josh
will
is
go
going
wrong.
to tell us what comes out next week, Mr. Movie Phone. Yeah, I haven't seen either of those movies yet.
Hellboy.
Oh.
Really?
Okay, what the hell's up with the marketing of Hellboy? Because
Yeah.
they were just power training it like last summer.
Yeah.
And then from the fall to the winter, it kind of just...
Yeah, I totally forgot that
Disappeared.
it was
Yeah.
coming out so soon.
I keep forgetting it's coming
Yes,
out
no
literally.
more hot wings. Well, the wings are good. The sauce was also
Yeah.
good, just painful.
I think I said it
La
before on
Llorona.
Hitch and Hang On. I'd rather die than eat another
That's
hot wing
intuitive.
with that sauce. So you have footage of that. I hope you enjoy. Anyway, let's wrap it up here, folks.
All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Make sure to please hit that like and subscribe button to keep up to date with everything trending.
In geek pop culture. Bye.